Now, our next guest is one of Ireland's most prominent up-and-coming fighters with a current record, wait for it, of 11 wins and no losses.
Ooh, that's a nice one. Callum Walsh is trained by the legendary Freddie Roach and backed by UFC President Dana White. So, you know, he's in good and fancy company. Let's take a look at him in action.
I feel like I need to scooch a little bit away just in case after watching that, you know. Might me not to ask you any hard questions.
Good morning, Callum. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, yeah.
Listen, that's amazing to look at. It's a bit scary. It's mad. But let's go back to kind of the start of your career, because we're just off the back of the Olympics. The Paralympics are coming up. A huge thing for Ireland's boxers. You narrowly missed out on going to Tokyo. You were beaten by Aidan Walsh, who went on to win bronze. What was that like in the beginning of your career? Was that a good thing to make you go, right, I want to go pro?
Yeah, you know, the Olympics was always a goal for me, you know, from when I was younger. I always wanted to go and represent Ireland, you know, and represent my country at the Olympics. But, you know, I was 18 at the time, you know, I was very young. Obviously, I had a lot of wins before that, you know, I won the 6 Irish titles, a European gold medal. So I had high expectation, you know, that I was going to go all the way. But, you know, like they say, everything happens for a reason, you know, and it probably was the best thing that happened to me is I did lose that fight, ended up going to America, and I'm sitting here talking to you now today, you know, so everything happens for a reason, so I don't feel too bad about it, you know, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. So brings inside your head then, when you decided to go to America, what were you thinking? Was it all bright lights and shiny, or what made you make that move?
Yeah, you know, I don't really even know what I was thinking. I had no intentions of going there and just turning pro straight away. I didn't have any ideas of that at all, you know, it was just the middle of COVID, everything shut down here, you know, there was no gyms open, there was no training really for me. I was just working and trying to train by myself. And then I heard that there was gyms open in America, so my plan was to go there and train just for a couple of weeks and come back and try to have that upper hand on the people here that weren't training, you know. So then I discovered that actually Ireland was a banned country from travel to the US, so I had to go to Mexico and stay there and try to get in, and it was a long...
Yeah, you had a few attempts trying to get across the border, you know, Donald Trump wouldn't have been too happy with you.
No!
I nearly had to sneak in, yeah. Well, I did sneak in a way, you know, I told him I was going there just to visit my family, and I got turned back twice, and then the third time I flew in and they let me in. And that's when I got there, but I was still only planning on staying for a couple of weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And I showed up at Freddie Roach's gym, knocked at the door and asked him if I could train. And
tell us about Freddie Roach. This guy's a legend.
Yeah, Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach. He's had, I don't know how many world champions. He trained Manny Pacquiao, you know. He came back here with Steve Collins, you know, to Cork, and had that fight in Cork when he won the world title. So Freddie Roach has been around a long time, you know. And I went there when I was 15. I went to Los Angeles to the gym to meet Freddie. And I took a picture with him and I bought a T-shirt from the gym. So I always knew, you know, if I was going to go back to LA, I would go to Freddie. And that's when I knocked on the door, and he made me spar my very first day with one of his pros in there.
Wow.
And
what was that level jump like? Was it very different to what you were doing here? Because Irish boxing is obviously in pretty good space. So is it much of a jump, or are they pretty on a level?
You know, I feel like I was okay because I had a big amateur career here. You know, I had a lot of experience with fighting, so I feel like I done well when I got there. And Freddie was happy enough, you know. He told me to come back the next day, and that's what I've literally just been doing ever since.
So you're a boxer. How does Dana White, the head of the UFC, get in? How are you involved with him?
Yeah, so after about a year and a half of training with Freddie, I made my pro debut with Tom Loeffler. And then that was in December, and then in March they decided to have a St. Patrick's Day show. And then I was the Irish boxer for that.
Of course, of course.
And then Tom was working on a deal with Dana to put boxing on UFC Fight Pass.
Right.
Which is where my fights are, yeah. So then, with Dana's history with the Irish fighters, obviously Tom brought me down there to meet with Dana. And yeah, me and Dana have been good friends ever since. And he came on board, he sponsored me with the Howlerhead whiskey first.
Right.
And then him and Freddie have a good relationship too, so they talked, and Freddie told him that I was one of the best fighters that he's ever seen, one of the best up-and-coming fighters, and that's when Dana decided to come on board 100%.
And you also, right, and I can't believe I'm saying this sentence because you and famous people are sort of mixing together, but Mark Zuckerberg's wife has rubbed Vaseline on you.
She's a doctor, isn't she?
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that was very strange. You know, it was I didn't expect, because when I go to a lot of these events, like, I forget that these people see me from Dana. You know, they obviously are there because of Dana, and then they see Dana talking about me, and I forget that they would even know me, you know. And I was actually just waiting for my girlfriend in the bathroom, and Mark Zuckerberg, and his wife came up to me, and it was actually the Cobh man. He was like, "Oh, her dream is to put Vaseline on a fighter." I was like, "Oh, all right."
That's quite a dream.
Yeah. before they go in for the fight, and yeah, I was the only one that was around.
Well done, Priscilla. Well done, Priscilla Chan, rubbing down a fella in front of your fella. Sure, isn't that lovely? Come here, you're going to be fighting at the 3Arena. It's your homecoming to Ireland, Friday, the September 20th at the 3Arena. It is a Continental America super welterweight main event. You're fighting against Ronowski. How are you feeling about coming home?
Yeah, I'm feeling very good. You know, I've had 11 professional fights, all in America. You know, I fought in New York, I fought in Boston, I fought in Los Angeles. And I've been waiting to come home for a long time. You know, I haven't fought back here in 4 years, you know, and the big reason I want to fight back here is because my fights are so far away. You know, I've built a big fan base back here. I have a lot of supporters back here. The sport is unreal, like, and a lot of people can't afford it, you know, to get over to these fights, to get to New York, and with jobs and everything, you know, people don't have time. So being able to come back and put on a big show here for everybody is going to be unbelievable.
And you've just talked about how you're going to replace Sonia O'Sullivan's statue in Cobh. Is that the plan?
Maybe not replace her, no, yeah.
Go beside her.
Now that we're on, I won't say that.
You'll go beside her in Cobh.
Right next to her.
You were running with her. You were competitive against her last year in a run.
Maybe a bit bigger, maybe a bit taller.
Are you going home to Cobh?
No, unfortunately not. I have to fly back to LA tomorrow. Yeah.
Right,
Well,
so
you'll be
get
back on the 20th. Tickets go on sale at 10 o'clock today via Ticketmaster. Your homecoming fight in the 3Arena on September 20th. Callum, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.